Daniel Rock 08 back again on video. 1998 year in review continues with good God Almighty, that killed him. Will someone start the damn match? It's that, yeah, that Hell in a Cell match. That match. The famous Hell in a Cell match. Probably the most famous Hell in a Cell match. But what else happened on this show? Well, you're going to find out. This is King of the Ring 1998 with the most famous Hell in a Cell match and Undertaker versus Mankind. My most favorite match of all time. A match I have watched no less than 40 times probably. And you're thinking that that's a hyperbole. That's insane. Actually, when you really think about it, it isn't, because this is one of the earliest matches I remember watching. This match has been shown on so many damn DVDs. And I have a lot of damn DVDs with this match on it. This match has been showcased so many times on so many different programming of WWE. Every time a Hell in a Cell match comes up, they have to refer to this Hell in a Cell. This is the match that set the bar for Hell in a Cell. It's just a crazy match. It's famous. This is the match that made Mick Foley a legend. It made him a legend. And it just really, this match right here is why you should be a wrestling fan. Because of the respect that these men and the things that these men go through to entertain the fans is just, it's unrivaled to any other profession out there. No disrespect to football players and basketball players or anything like that. No disrespect. But when it comes to the entertainment, when it comes to sports, when it comes to all that good stuff, professional wrestlers, the superstars right in that squared circle, they're the greatest athletes. They are the greatest entertainers of all time. Because you got a guy like Mick Foley who got tossed. A 270-pound man got tossed 20 feet through a damn table off of a cell, not once but twice, into the ring on thousands upon thousands of thumbtacks. Not just that, but he refuses to be put out on a stretcher. This man would go through all sorts of pain and agony, not just short term, but long term, to entertain the fans. He doesn't need 10 referees to carry him out. No, in fact, the only guy that does carry him out is Terry Funk, is Sergeant Slaughter. That's it. And even after that stuff, he still comes back and interferes in the main event. And he doesn't take any time off whatsoever after this. This man is a machine. I literally think that Mick Foley he is a supernatural being. He is not human, is what I'm trying to say. He is the thing that legends are made of. This is what made his career. This is what made The Undertaker, who also was injured, putting on this match. So let's just talk right about it. King of the Ring 1998. What else is there to talk about? Well, you got Headbangers and Taka defeating Kai and Tai. Good opener, 5 out of 10. We had the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament. This one really made me chuckle and smirking like crazy. Ken Shamrock obliterates and make that Memphis mid-card piece of shit tap out like a little bitch. And Jeff Jarrett, I liked it. 4 out of 10. Ken Shamrock's the monster. The Rock defeats Dan Severn in a pretty shitty match. D'Lo Brown now sporting his famous, infamous vest. See my vest, made from real gorilla chest. And yes, his vest may not be as famous as Roman Reigns' vest is today, but D'Lo Brown, I think, sports a pretty good vest and looks really nice. See my vest, made from real gorilla chest. So D'Lo Brown helps The Rock win, and he goes on to face Ken Shamrock in the finals. 3 out of 10. Next up, Too Much. That is Too Cool before they were too cool. It's Scott Taylor, Scotty 2 Hotty, and Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexay, defeating Al Snow, and Head. Literally Head. Head is his tag team partner, and it's hilarious. Jerry Lawler is the special referee, and this is basically a fucking handicap match. They literally play it off like Head is an opponent, by the way. So this is funny shit here. Al Snow, he gets the hot tag to Head, so he grabs Head and just waffles Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor with it. And then all of a sudden he gets knocked down. And since Head is the legal opponent in this match, Head gets taken down. Yeah. Head just falls to the mat. And they grab this Head and Shoulders body lotion deal. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. You know, that body lotion. And they stick it to the end of this Head, to Head, and it's Head and Shoulders. Well, so Brian Christopher pins Head, and since it's Head and Shoulders, its shoulders were down, and Head was legal, so therefore, Too Much won the match by pinning Head. Funny. 3 out of 10. X-Pac defeats Owen Hart in a good match. Whole lot of interferences, whole lot of shenanigans going on here. The Nation versus D-Generation X rivalry is building and building. Around this time period, they do have that infamous segment where Owen Hart and the Nation Domination, they're being parodied by D-Generation X. And, the Croc just came out of the bathroom, and you should have smelled what the Croc was cooking. I ain't making it. Man, you should have definitely smelled what the Rock was. The Croc just came out of the bathroom. I ain't joking. You should have smelled what the Croc was baking. Hey. Smells like shit, but I think I'll have some anyways. How do you get your pecs to roll all the way to your back? Shut up, D'Lo. Funny shit. The Croc, Mizark, Henry. You got, the D'Lo. Great stuff. Good stuff. Very good stuff. One of the best, finest parodies there is. Right up there with the NWO parodying Four Horsemen and Southpaw Regional Wrestling, of course. Very good match. Mark Henry interfering. Chyna intervenes, playing a DDT. Vader also gets involved. Chyna with the DDT on Owen Hart helps X-Pac get the victory. 6 out of 10. Fine match. The New Age Outlaws take on the New Midnight Express. Oh, God. Oh, I hate the New Midnight Express. They're everything wrong with the Attitude Era. Now, while you do have some great stuff going on in here, this was also around the time period that the fucking Brawl for All was going on. Yes, the Brawl for All was also going on around this time period. And of course, you got Bart Gunn in there, and they talk about him and Billy Gunn and so on and so forth. 5 out of 10. This is the only time Billy and Bart actually went face to face in opposite corners. I wonder who became the better man. While Billy Gunn would become a famous tag team partner and would have many more tag team title reigns with Road Dogg and even Chuck Palumbo, and he's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer with Road Dogg and has a very big role in D-Generation X. Bart Gunn would be the man who would rule the roost of the Brawl for All, and then he would get his ass kicked by Butterbean and get his ass knocked down by Butterbean at WrestleMania. As you can tell, I wonder who's the bigger star here. 5 out of 10. Ken Shamrock defeats The Rock to become the King of the Ring champion. This is a great match. 7 out of 10 in a very underrated feud. Just like how I talked about with Chris Jericho versus Dean Malenko, how their rivalry was so underrated and was so good. At around this time period, you had there are some fine rivalries in the Monday Night Wars. You have Sting versus Hollywood Hogan. You had, NWO versus WCW in general. You had Austin versus McMahon. Rock versus Triple H. Rock and Austin, of course. And lots of other great feuds going on. But I always thought the underrated feuds were Chris Jericho versus Dean Malenko, and Ken Shamrock versus The Rock, and this was a fine match. 7 out of 10. Shockingly enough, Ken Shamrock gets the victory and becomes the King of the Ring champion. I actually have a Nelson Mandela effect with this because I thought The Rock was King of the Ring champion, not Ken Shamrock. So it's a little bit of a Nelson Mandela effect on me with that because I thought The Rock won. But this King of the Ring, it all boils down to this match. This is the match that is the most famous match of the show. And it would become probably the most famous match of the entire Monday Night Wars. And it's the Hell in a Cell match. It's probably the match that a lot of people said turned the tables for the WWF and really made them the number one company in the whole spectrum of things. This is it. The Undertaker versus Mankind. I love this match. I've seen this match so many fucking times that I don't necessarily have to watch it nor listen to it to understand what the fuck's going on. I can watch this match on mute. I can listen to this match when it's completely... I can just listen to this match with my eyes shut and knows what's going on. First of all, you have Mankind going on there. He's climbing the Hell in a Cell with a steel chair. We're starting this Hell in a Cell out on top of the Hell in a Cell. Undertaker comes out. On a warm summer's night in the igloo, there's a chill in the air that rectifies the rival of the Phenom, the one and only The Undertaker. This is it. So Undertaker, he chases him up the Hell in a Cell. He meets him there, and then they fight. They fight on top of the Hell in a Cell. They almost go through the fucking cell at the ceiling as it gave way. And then it happens. Undertaker then tosses Mick Foley's ass right off of the Hell in a Cell, crashing through the Spanish announce tables. And good God Almighty! Good God Almighty! That killed him! That's what I just witnessed. He's been broken in half. That's the famous line. Good God! And they replay it, and they replay it, and they replay it, and they replay it 1,000 times over. And you think the match is over. Here comes EMTs, here comes trainers, here comes Vince, here comes Sergeant Slaughter, here comes Terry Funk, here comes all these guys trying to get Mick Foley, and they have this stretcher. They raise the cell. They are raising the cell with the Undertaker still on top. Well, I guess they gotta get Mick Foley out of here somehow. So Mick Foley gets carried out on this fucking stretcher. Now he's in the aisle. Undertaker is climbing before the cell even gets to the ground. And then all of a sudden it happens. Mick Foley, he raises off of the stretcher. He gets off of the stretcher. Are you kidding me? How is he standing? He wants to go back up. Undertaker is going back up, and so is Mick Foley. I don't believe it. So this man who just got tossed 20 feet off of the cell through a table is being stretchered out. He gets off of the stretcher and says, fuck that shit. He gets back up top and climbs the cell. If he chokeslams him off if he throws him off the cell, good God Almighty, good God Almighty, good God, will somebody stop the damn match? Enough's enough. He chokeslams him right through the cell, and the cell breaks open, breaks right through, and he crashes through the ring. And another big famous moment happens is the chair falls down with him, and the piece of the chair, the chair, one of the legs of the chair, hits him right in his teeth. Hits him right in the teeth. And there's a shot, a famous shot, where Mick Foley is dazed and confused. He looks over to the camera. His mouth is busted open. He has a tooth lodged right out of his fucking nose. And then they fucking they fight in the ring. Terry Funk intervenes. And he gets chokeslammed right out of his shoes for his troubles. Undertaker fails his Undertaker dive. Fails the old school. Mick Foley mounting some sort of offense. You have a human being in there who is unbelievably indestructible. Then he gets the thumbtacks. Thumbtacks. Man, he's sick. He's literally sick. He gets on top of the Undertaker on his back. And then Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, no, wait a minute. Here's needed those tacks. Wait a minute. No, you. Wait. God. He's like a human pincushion. Undertaker drops on his back. Mick Foley lands right on the thumbtacks. And then, God, he's like a human pincushion. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what a sadistic thing. A choke slam right through the tacks. This is unbelievable. They're sticking. No way. And then a tombstone. I almost thought he was going to tombstone him on the tacks. A tombstone pile driver right in the ring. 1, 2, 3. And the Undertaker wins this Hell in a Cell match. An unbelievable Hell in a Cell match. A Hell in a Cell match for the ages. This is what heroes are made of. You can take all your basketball heroes, you can take all your football heroes, and they're great people, sure. They're great icons, and they're great people to look up to, sure. But Mick Foley is a man. He is a man amongst men. He is an indestructible human being. If you are going to get stretchered out from that, but he stands up and still takes more punishment and more punishment and more punishment. And by the end of the match, he gets carried off by Terry Funk and Sergeant Slaughter. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It's one of the greatest matches ever. It's my favorite match of all time. I love this match. I love it to death. I had to watch it 2 more times over. I love it. I love this match. The list of injuries that Mick Foley sustained: concussion, dislocated shoulder, he knocked his tooth out, hundreds upon hundreds of thumbtack holes, lots and lots of punctured wounds all over his body. And the man still walks out. He's limping. Sure, he has 2 people basically holding him to walk, but he's not being carried out. He is still walking with assistance. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then you have the main event. Kane defeats Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match he literally could not lose, even if he wanted to lose. It's a first blood match for the World Wrestling Federation title. How the hell can Kane, a man who is masked, a man who is now wearing double sleeved attire, you would think, well, maybe Steve Austin could maybe win the match by having Kane, his exposed arm, bust open. Maybe he can bleed from the arm, and that would count, maybe. But no, he literally, how the hell is he supposed to bleed? I mean, maybe if the referee could see blood dripping in the back of his head, maybe. But Kane has a lot of that fake hair, and so a lot of the blood would probably just spill into his attire. How the hell is he supposed to see blood? Anyways, there's a lot of stuff going on with this match. Kane wins the number 1 contenders match by beating The Undertaker. Seriously, he beats The Undertaker, which is really, really crazy. And so during this match, the Hell in a Cell for some reason lowers. And it lowers. And Kane is strangling Steve Austin. And there's an unnerving part where Steve Austin may not look like his body's going to get all the way back into the cell. Back into within the perimeter of the cell. Anyways, the cell is being lowered, and I don't think we ever found out who was lowering the cell. Just like how we never found out who was lowering the briefcase at the next year's King of the Ring, we never do, I don't think at least, find out who is raising and lowering this Hell in a Cell in the First Blood match. But anyways, you got the Hell in a Cell match. First Blood. The Hell in a Cell is roaring and raising. Undertaker comes in. Mick Foley. This is why Mick Foley's a god. Mick Foley's fucking nuts. Okay, any normal human being getting tossed off a fucking cell, it's over. His career would be over. He's done. He's out of there. He's not coming back. But he continues the match. He gets tossed through the cell. He continues on. He gets tossed on the thumbtacks. He's still walking with assistance, but he's still walking. And then in this First Blood match, here he's coming down. He's jogging. This man, Mick Foley, if you are not some sort of fucking person who cannot feel pain, holy fucking shit, Mick Foley has to be some sort of machine. This guy is crazy. He has part of his ear ripped off. He has a fucking concussion, dislocated shoulder. He fell off of a cell twice through thumbtacks, and he's still interfering in this match. It's fucking insane. So screw you, all you fucking people out there who praise these basketball people. Fucking you have LeBron James who gets a leg cramp and has to be carried out by 8 referees. Yet here's Mick Foley who gets tossed off of a cell, through a cell, under thumbtacks, and is still fucking interfering in this match. It's fucking insane. Undertaker interferes in this match too. He has a steel chair. He's going after Mick Foley, and the Hell in a Cell is back down again. Undertaker takes a steel chair shot. He goes to hit Mick Foley. Mick Foley moves out of the way, and he nails Steve Austin right in the face with a steel chair. This would obviously set up Undertaker and Steve Austin for a SummerSlam match, but this is crazy. So Kane, who is now on the outside, Steve Austin, he gets his win back. He stuns Mankind. He gets Undertaker out of there. He stuns Kane. The referee's down and out. The referee gets revived. He sees Steve Austin. He is battered and bloody. Okay, there's a lot of people in the wrestling business who look very fucking weird bleeding. But there's actually some people out there who actually make the blood look really fucking good. Ric Flair makes blood look really fucking gruesome. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he looks like the way he is bleeding is fucking crazy. Like Undertaker, he looks really weird, busted open. Shawn Michaels does too, but I always feel like Steve Austin looks really fucking gruesome being busted up. Anyways, Steve Austin, blood dripping down his skull, and Kane is awarded the match, and he wins the World Wrestling Federation title. This is a good match, a 6 out of 10. There is no way in hell, though, this match was going to topple that Hell in a Cell match. Maybe the Hell in a Cell match. I know Austin was so damn over with the crowd, but not even Steve Austin, as great and as over as he was, not even him could have matched up with that Hell in a Cell match. Not even him. Yeah, sure, the fans were still behind him like crazy. They were still as hype as they could have been, but Steve Austin still could not have followed. No one else could have followed that Hell in a Cell match. It's crazy. Overall, King of the Ring 1998. It's a decent show. 5.5 out of 10. The Hell in a Cell match really makes it worthwhile. I recommend that match. Owen versus X-Pac is a good match. The King of the Ring finals between Shamrock and The Rock. Very underrated feud, as I've always said. Kane versus Steve Austin. It's shocking as hell to see Kane win the title. And it's fucking crazy. I recommend those matches. But my God, the Hell in a Cell. Mick Foley. If you are a person who still is, there's lots of people out there who bash wrestling and never give wrestling any chance whatsoever, you're a fucking idiot. Mick Foley is fucking, he is one hell of a guy. Hoo-hoo. I'm Daniel Rock 08. Goodbye. And I'll catch you next time. Coming up next in the 1998 year in review, there's a lot of stuff goes down in July. I have Heatwave to review. I have Bash at the Beach, where we have Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone intervene. Goldberg is the champion. He beats Hollywood Hogan in the Georgia Dome. The night after King of the Ring, Kane loses the title right back to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I have fully loaded the talk about where it has the tag team titles main event in the show. I think it's the first and only time the tag team titles by themselves main event a pay-per-view. It's Kane and Mankind taking on Stone Cold and The Undertaker. So I have Heatwave fully loaded and Bash at the Beach. Stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe to me, Daniel Rock 08, as I continue my year in review of 1998. Mick Foley, you are one crazy bastard.